All right, so this is, I wanted to talk a little bit about deploying a Rails app to help with a backend server that we're going to use for our Android system. And we're going to create a Battleship server, and your Android app is going to interface with that. And you could use Rails or PHP or anything on the back end. It's just that once I found this DigitalOcean, Rails is just so easy to deploy. So I've already created the Battleship. If you go to battlegameserver.com/user/index, this is my site. This is actually running on DigitalOcean. So that's still a work in progress, and I can say I want to get that information using JSON, which is JavaScript Object Notation, is what that means, and that gets me the same index, all in Rails, without having to do anything. I get all of the records as JSON objects, which are really easy to parse in Java. I can parse this JSON stuff into a Java object and then use that like for a list adapter or something like that. So that's what we're going to eventually work on. But in the meantime, I wanted to show you how to use this DigitalOcean. They charge only $5 a month for, let's show the pricing.
They even have a promo code. You get like 3 months free.
Yeah, you can get some free. It's not worth it. $5 a month. It's 7 cents. It's 0.007 cents an hour. Really pretty small. So $5 a month for the entire month. And for that you get 512 meg of RAM, 1 core, 20 gig hard drive, and a terabyte of transfer, which is plenty for a small Rails app. That's just no problem. You can upgrade it easily here. And they're competing against Linode, which is another site, and their cheapest one is $20 a month, and they get less than this. So it's just really nice. So I wanted to show this to you. I've already created an account, and I want to show you how easy it is to create a Rails Linux virtual machine out on the web.
Can you fix what version of Ruby or version of Rails?
You can, but not as a basic install. So I'm going to create these. They have these things called droplets, and a droplet is just a virtual Linux box. That's all it is. It's running Linux, and I can do anything I want. I have full root access to this box. So I'm going to create one, and they'll charge me. But let's create one, and we'll call it. Let's see. I had just a second. So I'm going to create a site, and I'm going to call it Rails Education as the host name. Rails Education. There we go. Thank you. And so we can start by saying I just want a small droplet here. That's the smallest, $5 a month. It's pretty cheap. You can choose where you want it. If you want it in Amsterdam or whatever, I'm going to choose San Francisco. That's closer to me. And we can choose all kinds of different versions of Linux, CentOS, Debian, Arch Linux, Fedora, or I can choose some existing applications. So I can have a LAMP stack on Ubuntu, which is Linux, Apache, MySQL, and PHP. If I were to do that, though, I would stick with DreamHost because they're free, and that works really well on DreamHost. But Rails doesn't. So here I'm going to choose this Ruby on Rails on Ubuntu, and it's using Nginx and Unicorn as the web servers. So I'm going to click Ruby on Rails and create a droplet, and they will email me my root password. So I'll create the droplet. Now, it takes about 60 seconds for them to create and spin up this virtual disk, which is just really crazy because they've also then installed Ruby, Rails, MySQL, Unicorn, and Nginx, which is a front-end web server that serves the static images. It's faster to serve static stuff through Apache or Nginx. All right, and so then they're going to email me the
which we probably going to pause so you don't show everyone.
maybe. I don't think this shows my password yet.
But through the server.
So it's still creating, almost done. Gives me time to go look at my email and see if it came in yet. They usually mail it ahead of time. It might take a little bit for it to come in here. There we go. DigitalOcean support. So here's my access. It gives me gives me an IP address, a root password, and a username. So I need that information. I'm going to need that. And yeah, I can change it. I will change it. Not a big deal. All right, so it's all done. My droplet is finished. I can actually access it right now, log in using SSH and play around with it. So let's do that. In my RubyMine, I have this concept of a terminal now. In RubyMine 6 and up, they have a terminal window. And I can SSH directly from here into that new instance that I created. So here's the information. Let's put this over here so I can see it. And I'm going to log into this SSH using the root username at that IP address. And it's going to establish this secure certificate, and then the password is this long garbage here. All right, so now I'm in. My app is already created in the home/Rails directory. So this is a whole Rails app already running. I can check to see what version of Ruby I'm running. 2.0, beautiful, love it. I can check to see what version of Rails I'm running. 4.02, beautiful, absolutely sweet. Isn't that nice? So I can actually go to this IP address now in a browser and see that it is a digital Rails application. It tells you where your app is. And so that's how I knew it was in home/Rails. Isn't that sweet?
Does it allow you to create subdomains
Yes.
without charging?
Yep. The subdomain, yes. Well, charging is a relative term. You have to apply that to a droplet, so they're getting money off of that. They're not charging for the DNS. So now if I want Rails education to point to this droplet, I have to set up the DNS for this and add a domain name. So I'm going to have railseducation.com. The IP address of my Rails education is this guy down here. So I'm going to copy that up here. My mouse slipped. And I tell it, which droplet do I want that to point to? Well, I want it to point to Rails Education. So that's going to create the domain. Now, the problem is that my DNS for Rails Education is hosted by DreamHost. So I have to tell the DreamHost to use their DNS servers. So I have to log in and change my DNS on my DreamHost side. And for my Rails Education server, I'm going to use their servers instead. So NS1, NS2, and NS3.DigitalOcean. So now, must end with a letter or a number. Oh, I got a period after the end of these.
This is cool. I don't know if anyone that actually does the current version of Rails without.
Charging you a ton.
Yeah.
All right, so success. So eventually now if I just go to Rails Education, it's probably not there yet, right? Education.com. It should direct to my my site. All right, so there's some problem here still. It can take up to a day, yeah. So that's going to take a while. Yeah, yeah. It's got to spread around through all the DNS servers all over the country. So, all right. So that's done. I can now take and upload a site that I've made locally to the droplet. Right? That's pretty easy to do. One thing I wanted to do before I did that, though, is look at a file in the config called database.yaml. And so this is, I wanted to see, because I always wipe this out, I never get to see what they put in here. Yeah, they didn't put anything in here. All right, so all I need to do now is replace this rail, all of these Rails, this Rails app that they've created for me. I can just delete all of this and upload mine that I've created locally here to that new site. So this is, let me make a note of this, Rails education.com. So inside, so I've already got this local Rails project running. I've got some gems in there. I created a blog and a movie controller. So everything is all happy here. I need to upload this site to the droplet. All right, so I can do that right from within RubyMine by creating a deployment server using the tools. Deployment, so let's create one called Rails Education. I use SFTP only. And the host is going to be that IP address that I have. Where's the root path of my application on the droplet? You remember? Home/Rails, right? Okay, my username is root. My password is whatever, right? So I have to go find that again, this long password. Put in a password, test it. It's going to come back and say, it doesn't have a key. Do you want to accept the key, hopefully? Nope, that didn't work. So something is wrong. 109. Oh, I used the wrong IP address. Something happened there. Oh, see, it switched. I got it. I deleted the wrong one.
That's the IP address.
I was editing the wrong one. Idiot. So I'm going to make this my default one. Rails Education, root, password, IP, test, save my password, test the SFTP. And it says authenticity of the host. This is setting up the shared keys so that my SSH can work. Successfully connected. I'm okay. I'm going to upload now my file to that. No. But for some reason. Oh, I didn't have this mapping. I have to have this mapping set to a slash here too as well. So that should be okay now. So now I'm going to upload the entire sucker up here. Upload to Rails Education. And it's going to send all the files. I mean, this is so nice. I'm going to make my next Rails people deploy. Finally, after 5 years.
Yeah, that is nice.
And to make them deploy every week.
This is
Just like Christmas.
Yeah, you won't have to download it.
I won't have to download it. I can test it right there.
Zip up.
I can use my automated tester for it. It's beautiful. Beautiful thing. All right, let's pause. All right, so we got all the files uploaded. Now I need to do some things on production in order to restart the server on the production side. So I have to do a few things that are specific to production side. So I have to do a bundle install of all the gems so that it matches my local environment. So I'm going to do a bundle install -- deployment. This will install all the gems that I had locally. Make sure that everything's happy on the server.
Oh, that is nice.
All right, and then I need to precompile the assets, and that means that it takes all of the CSS files and squishes them into one file, puts a hash at the end of it for cache busting. It takes all the images and puts a hash at the end of it for cache busting, etc. All the JavaScript files it squishes together, uglifies, all that stuff, makes them all small.
Have you looked into that Russian cache?
No. All right, then I'm going to precompile my assets. And that's where it's creating these hash named for all the CSSs and pings and stuff that I have here. Then I have to migrate the database. All right, so those are things that you would have to do locally. So I'm going to migrate my database, and here I've got a problem. So all right, so it says access is denied for the user Rails. All right, so somehow I've missed in the whole DigitalOcean realm what the Rails password is. I can't find it. I don't know what it is offhand, and so that is stored in the config file in my database.yaml.
Do you have to add the user on Dreamhost?
No. So this is the username and the database name, the username and the password. This is what I'm going to use. So they already created a username called Rails in the MySQL database, but I don't know what the password is, and I haven't figured that out yet. So the easiest way for me is to go in and change the password on the MySQL database on the droplet. All right, and to do that, I say I have to go into MySQL and type some MySQL commands. So I can say show database. This Rails is the database name from this config file. MySQL is where it stores all the users. So I'm going to say use MySQL database. I'm going to say show all the tables. And you can see there's a user table inside of here. So I'm going to say select star from user. That'll show me all the people that are users, and I can scroll up here and see that there's a root user, there's a Rails user already created for me, but I don't know what the password is, so I need to set that password. And to do that, I have to do this set password command, which I don't remember, so I always go look it up. So MySQL set user password. And this is basically what I want to do, something like this. All right, so oops. So I need to do set password for Rails at localhost, because that's my domain here, and I say equal password quoted Rails, like that. All right, so that sets a new password for my Rails user, and I can exit and rerun my migration. All right, so I've created my tables now. I've got a movies table. I've got a blogs table. And now if I go to my droplet, oh no, sorry, I didn't finish. I have to do a few more things. I have to, perhaps I had some seeds data that I want to do. I'm not going to do that. I need to restart the Unicorn server. It didn't have an error. See? All right, so I'm going to restart the server, which is the service Unicorn restart. And that tells Unicorn to pick up the new stuff. Now, when we're developing locally, we never restart the server, or hardly ever, right? Because it always goes and gets the new data. But in production, we don't want it to load the models all the time, every time. We want them to cache that stuff. And so that's why we have to restart it every time we make a change. So now I should be able to go to my, let's see if it's propagated. Probably not. So let's go to here. That's probably not a good sign. Something else is wrong. I can go to blogs. Let's see if I can get to blogs. Of course, that's not going to work. Is that the right place?
Something like passenger, less memory intensive.
Unicorn is a really good one. That's why they use it. It's got multi-threaded. Unicorn is just like Passenger. It's a server. It's a web server. Come on. It's not working. I wonder. I don't see why. So let's look at the logs. See if we can find something in the logs. I don't know. Capistrano is a little pain to set up. Yeah, it is. So I got a timeout. So while I'm uploading it again, trying to figure this out, you should change your password and you do that in the terminal. You type passwd, which is short for password. Very good. And you just type your new password in. And they'll make you type it in twice. They don't show you the password, so nobody can see it. And now when I log in, this is not going to be right. All right. So that's a good thing to do, and I'd have to change that on my deploy here as well. Okay, so it uploaded them. I need to do the service Unicorn restart. And there's something with Nginx is messed up somehow. I don't know how. It was. Bummer. That's a real bummer. It was going so well up to that point. Shoot. All right. So I'm gonna stop anyway. Well, let's pause. Maybe I can